All right, all right. Now you heard the car. Well, good day to everyone listening. This is the pilot episode of the Footy and Grand Prix podcast. In this podcast, we talk about everything Footy and Grand Prix. Anyways, but before that, we need to introduce ourselves. I'm here with Carl. We are both F1 and Footy fans, but enough about him. He'll tell about himself later. It's me first. We're both from the Philippines. We're both young, relatively. I'm 28, 29, 28. Yeah, I'm 28, and I am primarily a fan of football before I started watching football 2012 when we had cable TV, and I watched the Premier League and other leagues as well. And Filipino football, I don't follow much, but I still follow if I can. We like others. I like other sports as well, but seeing as it's the uh, it's a podcast about football and country racing. We're gonna primarily talk about that. So, Carl, can you know, tell our listeners who you are?
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm also, as Mario said, I'm from the Philippines, and I started following F1 first. Before football, I got into it 2003, 2004 during Ferrari's heydays. Then I discovered football via the
Yeah,
Star
that's our
Sports
sports era here in Asia.
commercials here in Asia. And then I got into it first Premier League, then Champions League, and also same with Mario. I follow Philippine football as well, but not that much since watching it takes a lot of effort since it's found on hard to find channels.
But we do what we do.
Yep, we try to watch from other sites if possible.
Other sites, quote unquote. Yeah. Anyway, before we go on to talking about Grand Prix and uh, football, we want to talk about why we do this podcast first, and we have been very passionate about the sports that we love, but here in the Philippines, it was previously hard to talk about things with a friend because few people watch uh, football and the Formula One. We wanted to do this as a passion project to talk about these two sports, and we wanted to also share our passion for the sport in other with other people, not just from the Philippines but around the globe. And I'm glad that the community has grown here in this country and in Asia. So I think we're just a small part of that firmament. There are other podcasts, but we want to join the fun.
Yep, it's really exciting this project. This we're doing this pro bono, okay? No sponsors
No
yet,
sponsor.
and we're doing this out of our own time and pocket. If we spend any new gear
Spending it in merchandise or on equipment or whatnot.
or any
So, uh,
subscriptions.
Flo, we're gonna talk about Grand Prix first, and then after that, on the second part of our episode, we talk about the footy. And yeah, and Carl,
Okay, so what about Formula One? There's a lot of news coming out
yeah,
of Formula
it's been a
One.
lot of news, right? Obviously the season is about to come up. Silly season is happening with all the testing things and whatnot. I don't really follow testing, but let's follow the news. First we go to the bottom of the pile. Haas with their driver changes and their management changes. I mean, since we're not that quite ignorant, right, about global events, let's talk about Haas and their owner and their drivers.
Oh well, I think Haas did something surprisingly quick for a change. They
Yeah,
reacted quickly when, as we all know, Mazepin was booted out along with Ural Kalai. I think that's how you
Rural
pronounce it.
Cali, yeah. Obviously they've got no. I mean, the money coming from that family is so large, But I think I'm proud, but I'm also concerned about what happens to their funding. But I guess Gene has, if he can, I mean, it's been obvious, how many seasons he been there. I think he's serious, but I think I hope that the funding is staying, because we cannot deny the number of dollars that Mazepin sponsorship brings. But on the other hand, well, who have they got to replace Mazepin?
Okay, they got the old driver back, Magnussen.
Yeah,
Jan,
that suck
no,
my balls.
Kevin. No, Jan is the father. Okay, so Kevin Magnussen.
The suck my balls guy. So yeah, I
35th
mean,
net.
what can you say? I mean, Magnussen in, Mazepin out.
I think this was the choice. I think before he was replaced last season, I think people preferred him over Grosjean since he isn't that crash worthy like Grosjean.
Like goes
So it,
on. Yeah,
and he's still quite young. I think it's 28, 29. So I, oh no, wait, let's check that.
I think I was actually surprised that he was young because I mean he's been around since McLaren, right? 2013. Ever since Lewis left.
Yup,
He
yeah,
was
he's
a
just
young.
29.
I honestly thought that we're going old because we went into him with the sport. And how many years has it been? Around 10 years already, 9 or something like that. But I think it's good that they're going again with their experience. With the money woes, they had probably no choice but to go for Mazepin. And I think, uh, Grosjean said in his video in the social media site that he likes the choice because Magnussen has an experienced profile. He can guide Mick, you know, and let's see. I mean, what about Magnussen surprised you this weekend?
I What surprised me about Magnussen, I
He got the timings right in the testing.
yeah, we got the timing, but he was the only car in the track. So I think with different strategies, fuel management systems, I think that we can take that as gospel. So we need to see uh, FP1, FP2, FP3 for the real pace of the Haas
Yeah,
because we can't really base from the statements. Maybe again not related, but Merck has been famous for sandbagging, so
yeah,
we
agree.
don't really know the real pace. So
So
it's hard to say.
speaking of testing, I mean, I think they had a decent amount of laps. Not sure if they got more than Alpha, but one team capturing the attention in the testing is, I think, Ferrari, your beloved team.
Yeah, yeah. I'm I'm not a quite loyal fan because I've generally disassociated myself
Because
since
what they
the
did to Seb.
yeah, but why that Seb debacle was terrible. Really, I think they're starting to get it right, but it remains to be seen how they're really close to the top two, Merck and Red Bull. It's really hard to determine because we've seen this before, and we have yet to see it coming to fruition for Ferrari. They've had their last win was in 2019. Am I correct? Yep,
The
2019.
last Grand Prix the one and only Grand Prix that I've been to, and Seb won, so I'm happy. But since then, it's been crap.
Yeah, but they're promising. They seem to get that vibe back. I think it was also in Drive to Survive. They're starting to get the feel good factor. However, I'm still worried about their missteps. So too early to say.
Too
Too
early to
early.
say. I agree. When I don't know. I hope it's a legitimate improvement. Because in 2019, right, they were caught with their pants down. But speaking of
Yep.
Drive to Survive, we'll come more into that. No spoilers as we are recording this one day after the release. But I want to talk about, they put in there the battle against McLaren. I mean, do we think that's the third best team battle, or are there any other teams in the party? Because I haven't seen much of McLaren in testing, and they seem to be hyping up Aston Martin, like Vettel's getting into grips with the car. Yeah, and well, I don't know if they're that good enough this season. They flunked last time, and Renault, whatever you say, I'm still gonna call it Renault. But that
Yep.
team too has, I think that team too is mm, not really noticed, not really been noticed in testing. So, what do you think about? Will it be a straight shootout between Ferrari and McLaren, or any surprises? Because I think
I
Ferrari and McLaren will be those, nailing it.
I think Alpine might be a Alpine or Renault for old fans. I think they might surprise, but it depends. They've been up and down during testing. There've been a lot of comments suggesting that this might be again like Alonso's second stint with McLaren, the terrible engine. So
Yeah, the
yeah,
GP2 engines. And that
yep,
livery, by the way, that livery
yep. It looks like 2018 again.
looks like 2018 Force India. But anyways, well, I think it's hard to see who will be the upper midfield and the lower midfield, because I don't know. It feels like Williams is getting there, but I don't know. When you see their trajectory from last season, it has been only been an upward trend. With them scoring points with George, but George is no longer around. Albon, I don't know how Albon's gonna do. Let's see what kind of. It depends on what Albon will turn up. The Toro Rosso one or the Red Bull one. But I think
Yep,
that
and
that will
also
determine the midfield.
I think also I'm not sure about Latifi because the other teams have better drivers. I think so.
Well, how
I don't think he could compete because that lower midfield would be tight. I mean, with Bottas and Alpha, it's gonna be tight.
yeah. Well, what do you think about? I don't know. I haven't seen much of Bottas. I think Alpha has their struggles in testing as well. Few laps get in. Did you? I don't know what to think about Alpha. I mean, Bottas. He has been a long time driver there, and Alpha being the leader, he has to step up, because that team wants to get back into the midfield as well. I mean, everybody does, but Sauber or Alpha, they had been competing in the early 2010s, but I think they want to at least get more points, because it was really painful watching them in the 2020 season, the 2021s. They were getting nothing out of Kimi and Italian Jesus. But
Yep,
I don't know about. I mean, I don't dislike Bottas, but I just don't think the guy is, a leader figure. Or I hope he does something special this year, but let's see. Could
yep.
be.
Let's see if we could prove us wrong. Hopefully.
Do you think?
Oh, it depends on the package that Alpha provides, and I think since they have a rookie in Wang Yizhou, I think it'll be tough. I think Bottas has to score most of the points, carry them at least to 8 to 10. Depends on the race.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
dis-
That's the difference, between the cars of the early 2010s. They are able to capitalize on the mistakes of the other teams. When you get a Marusha with a point with Bianchi, and you can't do that nowadays with Haas getting a point with that bad of a car. So let's hope for both Alpha and Haas, actually,
Yep.
that they
I would
have a
love to see
competitive enough, right?
yep. I would love all teams to score at least 1 point.
Yeah, when Kubica scored that point in that messy 2019 German Grand Prix, right? It was so satisfying seeing Kubica. That's what, and some memes came out. That was always zero. Kubica is one, but nonetheless, when Williams were struggling, it was really hard to watch, right? So when they got that point, I hope that Alpha and Haas, to a greater degree, Haas, But enough about those low cellar dwellers. The real fight is on the top, you know. Red Bull, they won the drivers, but they lost the constructors.
Yeah, but I think it would be the same if things don't change because I think Merck has the better pairing, but the chemistry
Yeah,
seems
George
to
Russell,
be.
right? He's I mean, I previously didn't rate the guy, but I rewatched what he did in the 2021, 2020 Sakir when Lewis got COVID. Boy, it was amazing. He just floored Bottas.
Yup, I think it's reminiscent of the 2007 McLaren pairing, really. The young lad, the young British lad, going against the multi-time world champion. So things might get messy, and maybe a third team, a driver from the second best team, might get the championship. So
Mm-hmm.
depends. It really depends.
You think Russell has a chance? I don't think Lewis is gonna just step out. I mean, he's still Lewis, you know.
Yeah, but that's why I'm comparing it to 2007. Like the commercial between Luis and Fernando. They were competing with one another, besting one another through everything. So
Yeah,
I think it would be that
that
competitive
kind
to
of
the
stuff.
point that it will be toxic. So
So if they're toxic, RB wins.
it depends on, I think, if Red Bull got that design right, because I think Merck just released another design without the side pods,
Yeah,
with the
without the
holes
side
in.
pods.
It depends of if they really have the edge because it might be hit or miss with the design.
But I haven't read the testing, but seems that I don't know. It's too hard to read, you know, because
Yep,
Checo
it's
is the only guy running out there more than Max, and Max is hiding his cards close to his chest. But I think Merck is again like in the early parts of last season, right? They struggled. I think they're gonna have that sort of adjustment period, and then they're going to get it right, and they have the talent to do it. And I think RB may have the edge, but I don't know. We'll see. But I think that's kind of a similar thing.
I think their edge will be the teamwork. At least Max and Checo had at least one season together. I really don't know the dynamic between Lewis and
Well,
George.
yeah,
If
George.
George would just let Lewis by like Bottas, would it be that easy or it would be difficult? So remains to be seen.
Now here's what I had just a random thought. What if Merck got Lando instead of Russell? I don't know. That's
Uh,
just
I
a
th-
moot point, but I think Russell is a more has more killer instincts,
but I think that if that happened, I think there would be more chemistry between Lando and Lewis
and it
because
will
I
be
think,
easier to just let James say,
yep, because I think we've seen that last season during Imola. I think that was Imola, right?
yeah. He said
Was it
that Lando
Imola?
was a great guy.
Yep. I think they have bet. I think George is reading to prove himself because he's been stuck with the Williams terrible car, so he
And
wants
he,
to
and
prove
he helped
himself.
them improve, right? I
Yep,
mean,
and
last year versus 2020, Williams really improved a lot. I think Russell, helped them, and they got a podium out of it.
yep, and also some points here and there. Yep,
Not just
I
for
think
George. Yeah, so it's kind of the overall.
overall team improved. I think Williams really benefited from Russell, so I'm really really concerned about Williams because I think Albon is a lower tier driver than him.
Low. But yeah, I didn't rate Albon. I think the Red Bull pressure got him bad. I mean, he was good when he was in Toro, so any other, I don't know. I don't remember what special moment he had in Red Bull, aside from he got a podium at Abu Dhabi, but aside from that, they raised him so hard. He went out of the Red Bull family.
Totally out of the family.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of it's a cutthroat field, and
Yep, with just 10 seats. It has to be cutthroat.
so
You
with
either
all
gotta have
yeah,
money, talent, or both. So,
or none of. I mean, I don't know. Maldonado has what?
money. He had money.
Oh
He
yeah,
had
from the
Venezuelan money.
Pinagay money. Yeah,
Uh,
I'm trying to think of a driver who got no talent or money, but I maybe that's another day.
yep, that's
Kaya,
it for
I
another
don't know.
day.
So yeah, with that, I mean, this season is. I think everybody's excited because this is like 2014. It's a rule change. Will we get a new dynasty, a new champion again? Because well, Max won the championship and Massey was out, but that's another thing. But so Max has the championship, but Merck still has the constructors. And I mean, Checo needs to step up as well. I mean, he's been good. I think on first season, second half of the season, from starting from there, I think that was the French Grand Prix. Starting from there, Checo got it good. He just got unlucky sometimes. Like in I forgot this race, but in Monza he got unlucky because it was supposed to be an RB podium, but
Yep, the
he got
penalty, I think. The penalty.
the team failed for me to communicate him the correct procedure. Could have just got
Agree.
the podium back, but I think with the second year they're gonna be more accustomed to each other.
In sync, maybe. In sync would
In
be the
sync,
term.
yeah, in
Yeah.
sync. And how about Danny Rick? I think he struggled greater part of the season. Some highlights here and there, but he also needs to be there because McLaren wants that third position.
Yep, I think some of the comments saying he needs to drive to survive next season.
Yeah,
But I think he really stepped it up after the summer break. So he just got unlucky in some races in the latter parts, include I think Brazil. Then yep, he really got unlucky in the last portion. So I think he needs to impose himself really,
yeah, he needs to
since
impose.
he's the star signing and Lando was already extended for a further multiple years. So I think his seat is on the line and Pato is waiting in the wings.
Yeah, and given the money, right? McLaren's giving him a lot of money, and they don't have a lot of money themselves. I mean, it's a pity, McLaren selling their cars and their campus, so they need Daniel to deliver because all of that money is going to him.
Yep, he really needs to step it up, man. I mean, he's a Grand Prix winner. I think
He's a
he
multi
can.
Grand Prix winner.
Yep, not just one. He really needs. I think this will be similar to his second season with Renault. I think he'll be more accustomed with the car
Yeah, and
and more
after
suited to his
struggling, right?
driving style.
They had two podiums for Daniel in
Yep,
Imola and I think
Nurburgring. I think.
Nürburgring. I forgot, but yeah, the effing podiums. So yeah, given that, I mean, I'm just looking forward because all of that chaos. I know it won't be replicated, but maybe it will be more chaotic if more teams get competitive and more drivers get mixed up in the top or in the midfield battles. It's gonna be. I hope that what they say with the rule changes is that they want a closer field. I hope that's true. Do you think that's true?
This I think we only had few changes, but the I think we could be similar to 2012. It really depends, or even 2009 when
2012 was
Braun,
really really peak content.
or even 2009 with Braun winning it all from out of nowhere. So I'm really hoping for that kind of season.
Plot twist of the year has getting bought and
Hey,
winning it all.
why not? It's Cinderella story from having Mazepin last year to winning some at least a race. I mean, that would be something for Gene Haas and his pockets would say thank you.
And then, well, so with all of that, so let's play a game. Let's play the predictions game. So what do you think?
Oh,
Champions for team, driver and constructors.
team. Okay. I'm going constructor. I think it will be Merck again for
I'm
the
going Red
ninth
Bull.
straight. Oh, that's gutsy. I don't trust Checo to get that high again.
Willing to bet? No, just kidding. But okay, Merc for you
No,
and
no.
Red Bull for me.
Okay, for the driver, I'm gonna say, wait, this is a
That's
tough one.
tricky, right? It's tricky.
It's tricky. I think I'm going out of a limb. I think I'll go with Leclerc.
Leclerc.
Yep.
That's
So it's a
ballsy.
mix up. So it's like 2007.
What is speaking? What's the catch? Why Leclerc?
I think he's better than Science.
Woo!
Natural talent. Natural talent. I mean, Science is
That's
quick, but I think
controversial.
Charles has that special gene. You know?
But that's I think actually Carlos is something we forgot. He surprised last year. I mean, everybody thought he's gonna struggle, but he closed the gap to Leclerc, and he helped Ferrari get that third in Abu Dhabi. I think Sainz is kind of a sleeper. Give him 2 more years, or 1 or 2 more years, and I think he's gonna be fighting them. But Leclerc, that's a ballsy call. Has he
Well,
matured enough? Has he matured enough? You know, is he
I
gonna?
think he
Has he erased the
has.
Baku mistakes from his system
Or
and
the
the
Monaco.
German Grand Prix, the Monaco, the German Grand Prix 2020? You know, when he went wide in the rain. Has he got that out of his system?
I think so. I think he has matured. I think he's more of a team leader now. I mean, no offense to Carlos, but I really think uh, when Ferrari dumped Seb, I think they put all their baskets into Charles. So
I just,
it's
well,
up, yeah, it's up to him to deliver. If he does not, I think Mick is waiting in the wings.
and Charles is off too.
Depends on what seat opens.
Ah, that's a for me that's a really ballsy take. I think science has really not really, but he has managed to equal him in performance. But neither of them get my vote. I think it's gonna be another Supermax year because I mean I don't know where Lewis' head is right now. I mean I think he's got it back, but Max, once he had that taste of it, and he once he had the feeling of being world champion, I think he's even more raring to go out there, and the Red Bull are even more going to be more motivated, because they haven't got the constructors. And by the looks of it, the car looks by how Max says he's feeling about the car. I mean, I know maybe it's PR, but he, I feel like he really feels the car is still good. I don't know about Merc. I mean, it depends what kind of Merc turns up, but will it be as close as last season? I don't know. Maybe not. Do you think? Will it go down 2 races, last race?
I don't think so.
I don't think so too.
I, it might be a walk in the park for any of those, or or it really depends. If I'm saying 2007, we
That
might
was
have that.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we might have that.
I
So
think
yeah, we haven't seen them racing, so I'm really torn between my choices.
Yeah,
You haven't
well,
seen the effects of the porpoising, I think. What's the spelling? Porpoise.
mm,
We haven't really seen them race, so if it's closer racing, I think it'll be fun. But I think Merc really has that advantage of that engine.
and
It's the
yeah, Merc engine is still there. I mean, McLaren wouldn't be performing well last year if the Merc engine wasn't nerfed.
Yup.
So,
That's why I'm really into them.
what do you think will surprise and disappoint?
Oh, surprise! Surprise! I think Williams will be a surprise.
Same. I think Williams have improved a lot. Will improve a lot more. Disappointment. As much as I said Williams, Alex Albon. it is a it's a contradictory take, right? But I don't know how it's gonna happen. You feel like Williams have improved, but Albon, I don't know, or also Tsunoda. Let's see if he improves, but Tsunoda, let's see if it will be a disappointment in the next year. And
I Yep. Yeah, it's really tricky, but I think with Doralton Capital's investment, I think Williams would be getting more. I think more really from
and
the
if
car.
they get more, and then there's the budget cap, with what they give more will allow them to bridge the gap with the other teams forced to decrease their budgets, right? I think overall, let's just see where the season goes. Be- It's really unpredictable with the regulations and and then the cost cutting and the driver movements. But are you excited? I mean, that's a silly
Yeah,
question. Is there any
yeah,
reason to get excited about?
it is. I mean, we have new races. Miami. I think that's an exciting race.
I hate it.
Really,
It's another stupid street circuit.
yeah. But with the owners of F1 Americans, I think they'd be more focused on growing the American market, especially the success of Drive to Survive. I think
Yeah.
it's financially it makes sense. Racing it remains to be seen if it is a good circuit, at least, or
I,
it's just a cookie cutter.
what I remember is that you know that press conference where they asked for the wishes for the from the drivers to the new owners to Liberty when they bought the F1. And then
Yep.
I think Lewis said race Miami.
Was it Lewis or
But it's Lewis. Race in
oh
Vegas. Ricardo said race in Vegas. And then
I
Lewis
think
said
Vegas would
Miami.
might wait don't close your doors in Vegas just yet.
Not the parking lot. Come on.
Yeah, but maybe some other place near Vegas.
Yeah.
It,
So anyways, uh, let's look out for the new season about F1. Few days we're gonna be in Bahrain. I mean, they're gonna be in Bahrain. We're gonna be in front of our TVs, and I hope it's gonna be a fiery fight and not just some wimping around
yep, and hopefully no major incidents. I mean,
like
life
in
threatening or
Bahrain.
not. Yep, like with Grosjean. So I'm really hoping for at least a close race. I don't want any lopsided seasons. It's boring. People want
Yeah.
excitement.
Anyways, that's the Formula One for us. Let's cross over to the footy. Um, so where are we at? We have we had the Champions League, the European games, and we're down to the final eight in the Champions League, and our favorite team to laugh about, Paris Saint-Germain, they're out again.
Yep, it makes sense because you can't really get buy a team and mold it into some a winning unit. Eh, the front three doesn't track back. I think you can't expect the rest of the team to carry them all all the games. especially in Europe. Maybe they could get along, get by in the in League On, but in the Champions League,
It's a
they
different
really need.
it's a
Yeah,
different
it's a different
farm.
story. Yep, it, it's like going to the city for the first time. Something it's a surprise. Something you do in your own backyard won't necessarily fit or work in the city.
But what makes the Etihad team different from this PSG team? I mean, both of them are rich, but it it it, it takes a different kind of thing to build a team. You said
Yes,
what's different about Etihad?
I think it's mainly the management. I think Soriano and Berg. I know what
Soriano
it's
and Chiki versus
yeah, Chiki.
Leonardo.
Yeah, Chiki. Yeah, I think they're at least building a team that they're buying players which fit the philosophy in the system. They're they're they aren't plugging players because they're popular or free or might get them short sales like Messi. I mean, they're at least it pains me to say it that they're building it right. So
Against you.
unless unless the faucet runs out, I think they'll be winning. But Champions League would be a different story.
Well, they're in the final eight, so let's see where they progress. I mean, who, who else is there? It's
It's,
it's the White Madrid, Papa Perez Bastardos, and
yeah.
the Redbirds are there as well.
Yeah, I think the Champions League isn't even finished yet. They have games this week. So,
Let's see. I mean, English clubs are doing well again.
yeah,
Like 2019 was it? 2019
yep,
and
2019 domination.
2011. I forgot. Anyways, they're doing well again. I just hope an English club wins.
Yeah, but there might be trouble in the horizon for what team, Mario?
What team? That Papa Perez.
The
Oh, the
blue.
Redbirds. Are we talking
Yep,
about the Redbirds
the
now?
no, the blue rubles.
Oh, them. Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know how
yes.
they're gonna run that football club. I mean,
Yeah, because
the UK government won't allow a sale, and
yeah, when the
I don't know.
have you yeah have you seen the restrictions? They might not even survive this month. That's
Uh,
dire.
they can't resign players, right? I mean
Yep,
that.
and
I think that's
the
that's
budget.
what that's what that's why we admire Haas earlier in the episode, right? Haas
Yep,
did it quickly. I mean, I don't I don't know if they have some UK rules applied to them, but that's the difference between what Haas can do and what London oligarchs cannot. I don't know. They're just
it,
too exposed.
yeah, they are exposed. I mean, this could be the threat to their existence as a football club as a whole. And it's really difficult. They can't sell unless the current owner, who shall not be named, with this, sells for no profit at all. So I think who
They're
in
not
his
gonna
right
they're not
mind
gonna do
would,
that.
yeah, who in his right mind would sell a football club, an asset, without getting anything in return? Considering I think the loans are, they had Chelsea had, sorry for Chelsea had the loan.
You said a bad
Chelsea,
word.
yeah, Chelsea had at least £2 billion in loans to the oligarch. So I think it will be tough, really tough to see him sell without getting anything, at least a penny from the sale. Mm. Considering the restrictions, I don't know how they will play that away leg against Lille in the Champions League.
My imagination would be he would try to sell to another oligarch in the Middle East, but I don't know
Yeah,
if that club's trustee foundation, uh, what ideas they have, because I think what the oligarch did was Roman did he basically transferred responsibilities to the
Foundation.
foundation. But what can that organization do with in managing a football club, right? I mean,
Yeah,
aside from
agree.
being inexperienced, do they have the legal power to do it? I don't
And
think
also
Chelsea
the
are gonna close, but it's gonna be a painful quarter at least for them.
yeah, it'll be lucky to survive at least this month because the restrictions, especially the travel, is I don't think the millionaire footballers will enjoy that. The restrictions because especially during away games, I mean, they can't even sell the tickets unless you're a season ticket holder. So it will be difficult.
Oh, I
They
didn't
might they might have to take pay cuts, maybe that
pay
dire.
cuts.
It,
Lol. It's gonna be like the those Catalonians,
yep,
that Catalonian club. I mean, if they survive, I think I think those Londoners can find a way, but let them find a way. I don't know how. Maybe
yep,
sell
I
to a
don't
Middle
know.
Eastern club with some special terms, but I don't know. Outside from that, or I don't know. Maybe the trust company or the support the foundation has some special trick up their sleeve, but it's just an effect of the UK wanting to be tough. But I don't know. Or it 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 impacts the club maybe more than the oligarch. But let's see what happens. I think football wise, they're still a good team, and what they need to do is to block out the distractions.
Yep, but I think it's gonna take a toll, especially they have to stay in cheaper hotels and fly commercially. That's the
No more
no more
private
private,
jets.
yeah, private jets. It might affect their preparation. Maybe they don't want to mingle with other passengers because they've been accustomed to flying
Fly
private
private.
jets.
They're used to the champagne lifestyle.
Yep, they'd be happy with bubbly, the cheap bubblies because it's really tough, man. I don't know how they will survive this.
I think there's a way, but we'll see. Because maybe we're not that imaginative enough or well versed legally, but I think there should be a way for them because every big club in Europe, almost every big club in Europe has some money problems and they're still there and they're still winning things. So we'll see about that. But speaking of English, in the English game, they don't have any more claim for the top throne. It's just two teams, the Etihad team and the Redbirds from Liverpool. And
Yep,
they have a big game in April or in March where they will battle each other. Three points only separate them.
yep. April 10th.
I'm gonna watch that. Who you got? I mean,
Uh,
you're a Manchester Red, Glazer
yeah,
Red
yeah.
supporter, but
It pains me to say this. I just don't want the Redbirds to win again.
you want the Etihads.
Yeah, I think the more significant rivalry is with the Redbirds. Until
No,
until
no.
the Etihad club win big ears, I don't treat them as a rival. Sorry,
Wow. Well,
until they
so
win big ears.
you're saying Glazers can lose 10-0 and how
Well,
about
it's the surprise pay. I mean, I'm not even surprised if if it happens. I mean, we lost 5-0 already
yeah,
at
I,
home. At home.
well, I think I don't know. I think the Redbirds are how do you say this? They're more of a team. I mean, Redbirds play. I mean, I watched the Manchester derby, and man, your team was just swept aside. But I think
Yeah.
the Redbirds of Klopp, they play more intensely. They when they're really on there, they will kill you with their firepower that
Yeah,
they've
but
got.
the problem really is with when some of those key component parts get injured. Example, if you take
They have fewer
yeah,
parts to replace them
yeah,
with.
they depend on the few quality players they have. For example, Trent, if Trent gets injured, who replaces his attacking input, his corners, his free kicks? I think, especially as a right back, they need that attacking fullback to complement Robertson on the left. So I'm not really, if
There's
he
some
gets
holes
injured,
to be
there's some
exploited.
holes. Yeah, I mean, with the Etihad club, I think Pep has them humming. I mean, they don't even have a striker for God's sake, and
They
they
have a
still
false
win.
nine.
Yeah, but they won't win the Champions League. Yeah.
What do you think? The Madrid club will win it.
Right. Who's still in it? Because there's still four
The
more
Mad-
ties.
the Madrid club and the Madrid club, and I think the Bayern Munich.
Yeah, I think Bayern is the biggest threat for
They have been the
Bayern
biggest
and
threat
Real.
since 2020, right? Because Lewandowski is not slowing down anytime.
Yeah, yeah, but oh, when you are we talking about the Champions League now? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
for the
Champions League.
yeah, but I think Bayern is also called what do you call this? You can poke some holes around them, especially with I think Davis is still out, Fonzie
Davis is still
is still
out.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're quite susceptible at the back. I mean, you can watch some Bundesliga games. They're conceding four, I think. Four. Yep.
that's why I feel that one of the Redbirds or the Etihad can get at least a cup double.
It depends. Depends on who they meet,
Uh,
especially in the cup
if
competitions
they meet Bayern, both I think both will win. But if they meet the
earlier. If
Perez
they meet earlier,
Madridians, if they meet earlier, I'm still going for the Redbirds.
yep. But
Etihad
it
always chokes against Redbirds in the Champions League.
yep. They do, and I think Real has some, especially Benzema in top four. I think you'll be scared to face Papa Perez.
Yeah,
Yeah, really, because Modric is not slowing down. He's 36, but running the midfield. I mean, you have at least a good goalkeeper, Thibaut.
they're a decent goalkeeper. And
Yeah,
Vinicius is, you know, he's starting to take
blossom.
some people's notice because
Yeah,
we thought he was just another overrated young kid, but some I read an
yeah. I
article
mean,
even that talks about him replacing Neymar as the star of the national team.
Brazil. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, he benches Hazard for Real. I mean, who's worth a ton of money, and he's sitting on the bench because of Vinny, Vinny Jr. So I think,
Vini Jr. Yeah,
yeah, but I think especially this is stomping grounds for Carlo Ancelotti. So I think it'd be remiss to say that you to underestimate them because they're really good.
yeah, they're really good in that.
I'd be
I
scared
was surprised.
to face them
I watched the PSG game and I slept at 61 minutes. I mean, I slept at 50 minutes, and they were PSG were just has just been able to exploit the Madrid defense and yeah, Neymar and Messi and Mbappe's passing game. I thought that was the coming of age of that team, but when I woke up, I got what is happening? Madrid still won.
Yep.
With that kind of attitude, Madrid, you cannot just. I want to count them out, but it isn't happening.
Yep, it isn't happening. I'd be interested with Ajax if they advance against Benfica. They might be a threat. I mean,
Who they got? Alea?
Benfica. It's still 2-2.
I mean, Ajax, who they got? Sebastian Haller, I think.
Uh, what?
Tadic. I don't know who they got anymore.
Tadic. Gravenberch.
Tadic is still. Uh,
Colas.
I think ever since
Haller.
yeah,
The,
Sebastian
the, the
Haller,
West Ham flop. West Ham flop. Haller.
West Ham
Still.
flop, Ajax star.
Oh, our former center back, Daily Blind, is still playing for them.
That's the issue with Glazers. When players leave the Glazers, they become
They
better.
blossom.
Mike Smalling is in Roma and he's not doing very bad, no?
Yep. He isn't. Even Mkhitaryan is, I think, doing well at Roma.
Yep. So, anyways, predictions. Premiership
Oh, Premiers. We're going for the title now.
title. Yeah, who will win?
Yeah. Blue side
I will
pains me
go,
to
I go
say
for
it.
the Redbirds.
At
Uh,
least 3 different.
Champions League. Redbirds also. I think they get a treble.
Whoa.
Bold.
That's
Now it's my turn to get a bold call, right? Not just because of the firepower, but because I think they've found some fairly good replacements. Konate has been good. Uh, the that and the kids have been good for that club.
interesting. I think I have Papa Perez White.
Madridians.
Win. Yep. But I'm still backing my team, the red side. Glazer. Glazer. Glazer United.
In Europa League.
No, to win this because we're the only. I don't think we'll get Champions League next year. So this is the only chance.
You think Arsenal will get it?
Probably they have 3 games in hand. I mean,
How about Conte's team in London?
they're too inconsistent. They're much more inconsistent than us.
Like,
Very
I love watching the team, but yeah, they're inconsistent. I mean,
wildly. What? Not just
it's so
inconsistent.
amazing watching Kane and Son, but then it's so
Combined.
frustrating to watch Loris.
Oh yeah, I have some pals in that with who are Tottenham fans. They're as exasperated. They could beat the blue side. Then next week suddenly lose 1-0.
To a relegation side. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
they're that inconsistent.
both.
That
I think it both for me that's where the excitement is in the Premiership with the two clubs and the top
yeah,
four.
unpredictable.
Yeah, so I think I think it will be a crazy fight for the league, Premiership, and the Champions League. But you've heard our choices. Carl is going for the blue side. I'm going for the red side.
Red side or the red bird?
Well,
I
that
think red birds.
yeah, Redbirds, red. Why are there two clubs in Manchester? Yeah, so I think it's an exciting time to be a fan of both F1 and Footy right now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, football's coming to the close to its season. Then F1 is just starting.
And you've heard our predictions, both in the Formula One and in football. So I think every week this is basically what we're going to do. We talk about what we think and stuff about that. But we also want to talk about the local scene, about the Filipino football scene and the racing community. We maybe have some few. I mean, what's we have a few news on both fronts. And in Filipino in the racing community, like I heard, and in social media, it's been circulating. There are new race carts since the country is opening up from the pandemic. We have new race carts, and I want to try. You want to try? We want to try that. And
Yup, I want to.
where's the I only heard one. It's in SM, the one of the malls here in Manila, at SM North, EDSA.
Yep,
Yep,
the
the
ones
ones
in
in
SM
SM
North,
North,
it's
it's
electric cart.
electric card. Oh, electric card. Okay. I don't know when they are opening actually.
I think
I
it'd
think it'd
be
be
April or
April or
May.
May. Okay, April or May. Wanna go?
Sure.
Sure. I mean I haven't been in that kind of I haven't driven a race car. I haven't I've only driven a road car once. A race car never.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why
that's
it's
why it's
going to be
going to be
fun.
fun. How many minutes is the drive allowed in the race carts?
I
I
think
have
it's
zero
50.
experience.
Oh,
Oh,
let's
let's
see.
see.
I
I
I think
I
it
think it
was at
was at
least
least
15
15
minutes,
minutes,
15 to
15 to
30
30
minutes.
minutes. 15
And
to
I'm going
okay.
to.
Fair enough. We'll get there and I want to experience it because it's adrenaline. It's the closest thing I'll get to being in an F1 car, and
Yep,
yep,
and it's
and
in the
it's
in the in the
in the
metro.
metro. It's in the
So
metro, right?
you
So for those outside Manila, we have a train line that is long, and from where we live, from where I live at least, it will take an hour. But we want to do the race car thing, right? Because it's in the metro, and you'll not have to go outside the city.
yep,
Yep,
and it's
and it's
electric,
electric,
so it's
so
good
it's
for the
good for the
environment.
environment. It's Formula E. Formula E car.
Hopefully not
Hopefully
the
not the
sound.
sound. Oh yeah, not the sound. That's dreadful.
Yeah.
I hope with more of these tracks actually, more people get into racing, and who knows, we might have some future drivers in the Asian circuits. F3, it's the road to F1. It's where all racers start in race carts. So I hope we get more of them.
I
I
really
really
hope.
hope.
Oh,
Oh,
I've
I've
seen
seen
the
the
rates.
rates.
Okay,
Okay.
it's
It's
950
950
pesos,
pesos,
Philippine
Philippine
pesos
pesos,
for
for
eight
8
minutes.
minutes. Around $50, right? If my math serves me right, 15.
20,
20,
I think
I think
20.
20. Okay,
Depends on the
depends on the
straight.
straight.
8
Anyways, 8
minutes.
minutes. When we
I
try
think that's
that,
enough.
when we try that, we're gonna allow us ourselves to describe the experience, and roller coasters are scary. So I want to know how the speed feels in a racetrack.
I think
I
this
think
is
this
much
is much
safer.
safer. Yeah,
You
much
aren't
safer. You aren't
flying.
flying. Made much safer, and then we crashed the race car.
Well, it's
Well, it's
electric,
electric. Yeah, the
so
So
less less
less
risk of
risk of
fires.
fires. I hope so. But it's gonna be exciting. Let's do it
It
soon.
once they're
Once they're
open.
open. Once they're open, yeah. And also here in the community, in the football community of this country, we're getting excited because the local cup competition is coming. I mean, football has been mostly shot for us here in this country, while other leagues are going on around ASEAN.
And we
And
have
we have
more
more
teams
teams
now.
now. How many teams do we have
The
in
Copa.
Copa? Yeah, in Copa.
I
I
think
know
we
the
have
top
seven.
teams, Kaya, UCFC are there. The usual suspects are there. So seven. I think I hope to see the games at least, and I hope for
No, we have the
we have
new
the new
club,
club,
Dynamic
Dynamic
Herb
okay. Herb
from
from
Cebu.
Cebu. Okay, that's good at least. At least we're getting more competitors, and I mean, you'll never know who will spring a surprise. It's a cup competition, so there's always room for error and surprises.
And they have
They have
money.
money. Mm-hmm.
They have
They have
their own
their own
stadium.
stadium. They
So
have their own stadium. But isn't
yep,
it
it's
gonna be
already
a
built.
bubble
Yep,
style?
it's a
It's a
bubble.
bubble. Oh, okay.
So not
So
yet.
not yet. But at least it's a sign of life from from the football community. I mean, it's a sign of
Yep.
life where other people have been playing, we've been shot, and at least getting back in that direction.
Agree.
Agree. So another update on the Filipino football community is that we have another foreign-based Filipino player, Gerrit Holtman from Bundesliga.
Bokum.
Yeah, Bochum, VFL Bochum. So he's joining us, and I'm hyped about him joining for one sole reason. That goal against I forgot who that goal was against, but he dribbled through at more than three players. He was like Messi.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Yeah, I
yeah, I
see.
see.
I've seen
I've
it.
seen it.
I think
I
it
think
was
it was
mine.
Mines. Mines. Yeah. And then, didn't he score against? I don't know if he scored against Bayern, but it's another Bundesliga talent. So I hope we're gonna get good value out of him.
Yep.
Yep.
Any
Any
hope that
hope
he
that he
leads
leads
us
us
farther in the
farther in the
Asian
Asian
Cup?
Cup? To the promised land.
Why
Why
not?
not? Well, yeah, well, being in the Asian Cup in itself, the promised land. So yeah, let's see. I mean, he's a good player. He has experience against the best of the best. Well, in the Bundesliga. I hope he brings us. So, anyways, I'm excited about that.
Me too.
Me too.
I want
I
to
want to
see
see
him
him
perform
perform
with the
with the
Filipino
Filipino
shirt.
shirt and then progress further in the competitions. Right. So what are we looking what are we looking out for in the next few weeks in both the Footy and the Formula One? Obviously, Bahrain's coming up, so it's gonna be serious again.
It's
It's
going to
going
be
to be
nitty
nitty
gritty.
gritty. It's going like both of them are in both Footy and Grand Prix racing are in the uh, you know crunch time mode.
Yep.
Yep.
Champions
Champions
League
League
also this
also
week.
this week. Champions League, yeah. This
Second
second
leg.
leg. So yeah, let's. I'm excited. Let's just get in there. It's a good time to be fans of both sports, and yeah, and I think in closing, I think we're gonna have a great few months because both of them are footy season is climaxing, and this is a World Cup year, so we'll be here to deliver you all the action, all the opinion, and any words, Carl?
I'm
I'm
stoked.
stoked. You're stoked, like the Potteries.
Yep.
Yep,
It's
it's
exciting.
exciting. Mhm. So I hope you'll be with us as well as we journey through the season, and we'll we'll get our opinions out there. We might not always be, we might not always have the straightest opinion, but we'll get out there
And we'll
and we'll
share what
share
we
what we
feel
feel
about
about
some of
some
the
of the
certain
certain
topics.
topics. Yeah, agreed. So right, we will see you. We'll hear will you'll hear again from us I, in the next few weeks. We're going to share with you what happens in the F1 and then the footy, and that's basically today's episode. Thank you for listening to me, Mario.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
thank you listening.
listening.
This is
This
from
is from
Carl.
Carl. And we reached the goal. Go! Go!
Go!
Yeah, have a good day, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Stay
Stay
safe.
safe. Stay safe out there and play safe. Drive slowly.